Hare Krishna, Mataji. We welcome you to Srimad Bhagavatam evening session arranged by North Sydney, ISKCON Sydney Yatra. So today we'll discuss third canto, chapter number 18. So let's sing Radha Madhav and then we will discuss the Asana. Hare Krishna. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Jaya Girivaradhari Jaya Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Vrajajanandana Yashodanandana Vrajajanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Bihari Jaya Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Yodanandana Vrajanandana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Jaya Jaya Radha Gopinath Radha Gopinath Shri Radha Jaya Radha Govinda Radha Govinda Jaya Jaya Radha Bhakti Radha Bhakti Shri Radha Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Radhe Jaya Shri Radhe Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev जय श्री हरिनाम संकीर्तन। श्रीला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्रीला गुरुदेव की जय, गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोपकुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। Hare Krishna, Prabhuji and Mataji. We are studying from 3rd Canto, chapter 18. And the chapter is titled Fight Between Supreme Lord and Hiranyaksh. So today we will we'll read verse number 3, 18, 24. If you have Srimad Bhagavatam close to you, please refer that, or you can open it on your devices. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Mainam Mayavinam Driptam Mainam Mayavinam Driptam Nirankusham Asattamam Nirankusham Asattamam Akrida Balavat Deva Akrida Balavat Deva Yatha Ashi Visham Uthitam Yatha Ashi Visham Uthitam. Word by word translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Ma, do not, enam, this, enam, him, maya, vinam, skilled in conjuring tricks, driptam, arrogant, nirankusham, self-sufficient, asattamam, most wicked, akrida, play with, balavat, like a child, deva, O Lord, yatha, as, ashi visham, a serpent, utthitam, aroused. Lord Brahma continued, my dear Lord, there is no need to play with this serpentine demon, who is always very skilled in conjuring tricks and is arrogant, self-sufficient and most wicked. Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. No one is unhappy when a serpent is killed. It is a practice among village boys to catch a serpent by the tail and play with it for some time and then kill it. Similarly, the Lord could have killed the demon at once, but he played with him in the same way as a child plays with a snake before killing it. Brahma requested, however, that since the demon was more wicked and undesirable than a serpent, there was no need to play with him. It has his wish that he be killed at once without delay. So, let's do Mangalacharan and then we will discuss. Om Ajnanatirmirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mayyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padkamlam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam सावधेतं सावधूतं परिजना सहितं कृष्ण चैतन्य देवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेशा गोपिका कांता श्री राधा कांता नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरोभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे भूतेर्महद्भिर्यैमा पुरो विभो निर्मायशेते यदमूष पुरुष भुङ्क्ते गुणान् षोडश षोडशात्मकम् सोऽलङ्कसृष्ट भगवान् वचांसि मे श्रीकृष्ण शरणं शरणागतं कथा अमृतं सतत पिबतं भक्तिवेदान्त मार्गपन्थनं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्म प्रसन्नं सर्वलोक ऋषिदेव जन्म प्रसन्नम। Hare Krishna. Prabhuji and Mataji. So we studying from third canto, chapter number 18. Just one sec. Looks like there is something wrong with the video. Just one sec. So, Prabhuji Mataji, what happened so as the chapter is titled, Fight Between Supreme Lord and Hiranyaksha. So, Mata Diti got pregnant and she gave birth to two, uh, two boys, twins, Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasha. Maharishi Kashyap named the sons as Hiranyaksha and Hiranyakasha. They were very strong right from very young age and they grew up so big. And as per the prediction by Kashyap Rishi, they grew up and they were performing demoniac activities all the time. Then of the two, Hiranyaksha would roam around and he was always looking for someone to fight with. He was oozing with demoniac power. You know how a bull or some wild animals, they just roam around and they're looking to hit someone. And you find a lot of human beings also in these days who have those qualities, who are always looking to get into some sort of argument or fight with someone. So Hiranyaksha was, you can say, a forefather of these today's so-called demons. Yeah? So Hiranyaksha was roaming around like that, and he then could not find anyone. He went to heavenly planets to fight with Indra and others. As he went up, all the demigods went into hiding. They were not prepared to face him at all. They were so scared of him. And then he came down and he jumped into the ocean. He jumped into the ocean and it says that he was there in the ocean for thousands of years. Thousands of years he was in the ocean. He would carry his mace And with his mace, he was just hitting the water. He was hitting the waves. This is the madness. He had so much. This is called animalistic power. So he was going around, and then within the water he went down and further down, and he reached Vibhavari, which is the capital of Varun. Then we got Varun. So he went there, and then he paid his obeisances to Varun Dev, and he tells him that you perform the Rajsvi Yagna, and you are so powerful, yeah, and and so shamingly, yeah. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Maitreji says that his behavior was like Neechavad. Neech as in so downgraded. His behavior, his body language, like in Neechvad. Such a fool, you can say, as Prabhupada used to say, rascal. So all those negative words you can add. As Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 16.4, Dambho Darpo Abhimanascha Krodha Parushyam Evacha. Dambho Darpo Abhimanascha Krodha Parushyam Evacha Ajnana Cha Abhijatasya. Parth Ajnana Cha Abhijatasya Parth Sampadam Asuri. So these are the Sampada, as in property of people of demoniac mentality. Yeah. So he goes there in front of Varun Dev, he pays his obeisances, and then like in Neechvad, and then he prays to me, and then he says, please give me fight. Yeah. He says, Dehi me Adhiraj Sanyogam. Neechvad Jagad Dehi me Adhiraj Sanyogam. O Adhiraj, O King, O Lord, he is addressing Varun Dev. Dehi me Sanyogam, as in fight. Please give me fight. When you go in front of the king, you know, someone who can give you something, this is what he was asking. And Varun felt a little bit embarrassed. Rather, he was very upset. He was very angry. Yeah? But Varun Dev controlled his anger. He controlled his anger, and then he thought over it for some time, and then he says that Pashami na anyam. He says, you are so powerful that I cannot see anyone. Yeah? Pashami na anyam purushat puranatat. Yeah? Puran Purush. Yeah? Govindam Adi Purusha. Who is the Adi Purusha? Yeah? That Supreme Personality of Godhead. So he says, Ranyaksh, there is no one else who can match your prowess, match your strength. And the only person that I can see who is capable of facing you, of fighting with you, is only Supreme Personality of Godhead. And he does tell him that if you go in front of him, he will be the one who will be able to kill you, who will actually kill you. And then your body will be made available to dogs, jackals, and vultures. And that Supreme Lord is he who takes various Rupani Dhatte Sad Anugrihechaya, who takes various roops, various incarnations to Sad Anugrihechaya, as in Sad, to be merciful, to give anugrah. Yeah? On doesn't matter whether they are demon or whether they are demigods, whoever they are, but he bestow his mercy, Rupani Dhatte, takes various forms. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead, you can go and fight with him. And he does add that he will kill you, and your body will be made available to dogs and vultures. Dogs and vultures and so he says, Tam Viram Arad. Tam Viram Arad Abhipadya Vismaya Shayi Shase Veera Shaye Shwabhir Vrata. शयिष्यसे वीरशये श्वभिर्वृत यस्त्वविधाना असतां प्रशान्तये यस्त्वविधाना असतां प्रशान्तये रूपाणि धत्ते सदनुगृहेच्छया. That Veer, that Supreme Personality of God, immediately, yeah, if you go to him, immediately he will be able to, Vismaya, he will be able to finish you, he will be able to, your arrogance, yeah, you immediately he will be able to finish that. And Shaishyase Veerashaye, yeah, you will be sleeping, your body will be lying Veershaye in the battlefield. Yeah. And Shwabhir Vratta, that body will be surrounded by dogs, jackals, and vultures. And then he says, because that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Yastav Vidhanam Asatam Prashanti. Yeah. Because to settle down people like you who are asat, sat and asat, who are asat, people like yourself. What does he do? Rupani dhatte sadanudrihechaya. By his own sweet will, he takes various incarnations. So he will be able to fight with you. As Varunji told this to Hiranyaksh, Hiranyaksh immediately went looking for that Lord Hari. And then guess who he finds? He finds Naradji. So he meets Naradji. He asks Naradji, where can I find Lord Hari? Where can I find that Purana Purush? Naradji tells him that he is in the water. He has gone into the water and he is lifting Mother Earth. See Naradji's quality. Yeah. So Naradji means what? Narayanam dadati iti Narad. So Naradji is merciful to everyone. He met Dhruv Maharaj, he told what you do and you can get Supreme Lord. The demon goes to him, yeah, demon also asks him, so Naradji also helped him. Because ultimately he is going to be liberated. Yeah. So this is how Naradji is told. There are many of us try to be like that. There are many people who try to be like that, but we have to be very careful. Unless you are or we are as surrendered as Naradji, we cannot perform that. So we end up in having bad relationship, soul relationship, soul experience. Yeah. So we have to be very careful in that sense. But Naradji is different. He's exalted. Naradji can do that. So that is why Rup Goswamiji has very nicely advised us in Nectar of Instruction how do we maintain the association, what things we should do, and the kind of relationship we should have, the loving exchange we should have. And then for that purpose only Srila Prabhupada has set up ISKCON as a society for us to have those loving exchange. Dadati pratigrihanathi guhyam makhyati pritchati bhunjate bhojate chaiva Shadvidham Priti Lakshana. So these are the Priti Lakshana. And then he advises that with whom to maintain these 6 loving exchanges. Yeah. So Naradji tells him where to find Lord Hari and that he is in the water. As Hiranyaksh heard that, then he straightaway jumped into the ocean and he started going into the depth of the ocean. Even though now Maitreji is telling Vidurji that even though he had heard that he is going to be killed, but he did not pay attention to that word. He was so mad after fighting that he says, Rasatalam nirvivesh, Rasatalam nirvivishe, Tvar anvita. Rasatalam nirvivesh, Tvar anvita. Rasatalam. He went at the bottom, into the depths of the ocean, to look for the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even though he was advised that he will be killed. As when he reaches, he goes into the bottom of the ocean, then what he sees there, he sees the Supreme Personality of ददर्श तत्रा भिजितं धराधरम् ददर्श तत्रा भिजितं धराधरम् जहास चाहो वन गोचरो मृग. And as he goes into the bottom of the ocean, now he sees Dadarsh, Tatra, there, yeah, and he saw Abhijitam. Abhijitam is the Supreme Personality of God. And Maitreya is saying Jitam, he has used the word Jitam, who is ever victorious. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he saw him Dhara Dharam. Yeah? That Dhara, that Mother Earth, was on the top of his tusk. Yeah? So he was carrying that Mother Earth, that Supreme Personality of Godhead, on the top of his tusk. Yeah? And as he saw that, then Hiranyaksh says he makes fun of the Supreme Lord. Jahas, he made a laughing comment, and then he speaks like the Cha Aho. He started speaking. He made fun and he started speaking, and he addressed the Lord as Van Gocharom Raga. Oh, you have taken the form of a forest animal. Yeah? Van Gocharom Raga. So he was very sarcastic in that word. But in the purport, Srila Prabhupada says that even though he was addressing the Lord like this, but indirectly the way our acharyas interpret those words is that he was actually glorifying the Lord. Yeah. So when he says one gochara, yeah, actually one gochar means people living in the forest. One is in forest, gochar is living in the forest, but one gochar also means lying on the water. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who lies on the water. So indirectly he was praising, he was glorifying the Supreme Personality of God. By Mriga, Sridhar Swami says, Mriga means who is very difficult to be found by the yogis, all the yogis who are searching for him. Yeah? So once again he is glorifying the Lord. Yeah? And then in the next verse he says, he addressed the Supreme Lord, he says, Suradhama. Yeah? Suradhama sadita sukarakrite. Suradhama sadita sukar akrite. Yeah? So he says you are Sura Adham. Basically he was addressing, he meant to say, or he was saying that you are the Adham, you are the lowest in the demigods. And taken form of a pig. Sukarakrite. But Sridhar Swami once again says, what he is actually saying is he is calling the Lord as Sura Adham. Sur means demigod. Yeah? And indirectly he is saying who all the demigods who are lower than him. The demigods Adham, so indirectly he is saying demigods, Sur and Adham. So all the demigods are lower than him. Yeah? So then he becomes the best of the demigods. So by saying these words, he has actually, even though he was using these harsh words to blaspheme, to say bad words, but indirectly he was praising the Supreme, he was glorifying. And he says, you have taken the form of a pig. And then he says, you are such a Mayavi. You always use Maya. You always hide. And by hiding, you have killed so many kinsmen. So you have killed so many demons. But he says, now I'm going to punish you. I'm going to punish you. And how I'm going to punish you? He says, I will use my mace to hit your head. And when my mace hit your head, your skull will wide open. And then he says, all these demigods and all these rishis who have been glorifying you, who have been giving you the power. Yeah? You know how we perform these sacrifice. So through the fire sacrifice, we are offering these oblations. And their lordship says that he is actually the mouth himself. Through that fire, he is accepting those offerings. Yeah? So this demon, he is saying that you become powerful, you become strong because you are being fed by all these rishis and devas. But I will use my mace and to open your skull. And with that, what will happen? he says all the strength of these rishis, yeah, balim haranti rishiyo ye cha deva swayam sarve na bhavishanti amula. So he says that balim haranti, I will I will take their strength away of all the rishis and of the demigods. Or whatever strength these rishis and demigods are giving you, I will take it away. And when I do that, the strength of these, indirectly he's also saying that the strength of these rishis and munis will also be taken away, because swayam sarve na bhavishyanti amula. He says because it's like uprooting a tree. Yeah, he's saying when I'm going to destroy the root of a tree, the tree, all the branches of the tree, they will become strengthless automatically. So he's saying they are giving you the strength and you are the source of their strength. So indirectly he is again glorifying, right? He is again agreeing that aham sarvasya prabhavo matta sarvam pravartate. He is agreeing that all these demigods and rishis, right, they become so strong. They are able to perform these austerities because that strength comes from you. Yeah. But he is saying, I am going to hit your head and amula, because when I remove the roots, now removing the roots, they will all become powerless. So he says that. And then he further, went on to say to, further went on to say to Supreme Lord that you have been hiding for so long. Yeah, I've been looking to kill you, to and all those bad words. And then he says that just wait, just stay there. I'm coming to kill you. So he just continued like that. So these words were very hurting. He was using very bad words, but their lordship, Maitreji says, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he just kept hearing. He did not get distracted. Yeah? It's an important lesson from all of us, Prabhuji, because he was carrying Mother Earth on the top of his tusk. And Maitreji says even Mother Earth got scared. She was frightened by seeing that demon and by hearing those bad words from demon. So she was scared for a moment. And Maitreji compares it is as if when an elephant goes into the water and an alligator attacks the elephant. So elephant is trying to get the she elephant out of the water so that she is safe, and then he can fight with the alligator, or then he can see what alligator is doing. So he was more concerned about Mother Earth. So Supreme Lord was more concerned about Mother Earth. See, this is how their Lordship takes care of his devotees. So, yeah. So the Supreme Lord was making sure that Mother Earth doesn't get hurt, and as she was frightened, so he was very carefully taking Mother Earth away. Yeah. He took Mother Earth away, and then as he came out of the water, then he placed the Mother Earth on the water. Yeah. He placed it on the water, and then give her his own strength. Yeah. He says, so Maitreji says, Sagam Udas Sagam Udasta Salila Segochare Sagam. Gam as in Prithvi, as in earth. Govinda, we say Govinda, it has three meanings. Govinda is Gam Vindati iti Govinda. So Gam is also Ga is also used for cows. It is also used for senses, and it is also used for Mother Earth. Yeah? Because by walking on Mother Earth, he is giving pleasure to Mother Earth. Yeah? So Sa Gam Udastat Salinasya Gochare. So that Supreme Personality of Godhead, he carried Mother Earth Salilasya as in water. So he put Mother Earth on the surface of the water. And by looking through his eyes, what did he do? He vinyasya tasyam, dadhat swasattam. Vinyasya tasyam dadhat swasatvam. Yeah. So Lordship placed the Mother Earth on the surface of the water. Yeah. And then by through his eyes, yeah, he was able to give her strength, or you can say give her energy to placing it back in her place, and he passed the energy, the sattvam, swasattvam, dadhat swasattvam. Yeah. He was able to do that, tasyam, to the Mother Earth. And as the Supreme Personality of God had placed Mother Earth on the surface of the water, Brahmaji comes. Brahmaji and all the demigods, they appeared in the skies and they started showering the flowers. And they started glorifying the Supreme Lord. As Brahmaji and other demigods were doing that, now the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he turned back. As he turned back, the Hiranyaksh, he was still blaspheming, he was still saying bad words to the Supreme Lord. And Mataji says he had decorated himself, Hiranyaksh, he was wearing all the jewelry and he had golden hairs and he was charging towards Supreme Lord, and he was still saying, oh, what kind of person you are such an animal, and you are scared of me. If you have the strength, come and face me and fight with me. And like this, he was just speaking. Now, Supreme Personality of Godhead, he turns toward Hiranyaksh and he tells him, yes, we are the one gochara, we are the animal of the forest, but yes, we are looking for dogs like yourself. Those dogs who are feared from death, yeah, but we are not feared from death or anything like that. We are always looking for people like you. Yeah. And then the Supreme Lord says that we are looking for the people like you, and you have challenged. Now come and fight with me. And he says, prove your word, because you have spoken these words, and if you don't perform what you have spoken, then you are not qualified to be sitting in the assembly of your own people. So like this, Supreme Lord challenged him. But it was more, Prabhuji Mataji, to arouse anger in Hiranyaksh, because the Lordship is here to enjoy the Veera Ras. Yeah? He was here to enjoy the Veera Ras, so he was really wanting to fight with him. But at the same time, one thing I want to highlight is Supreme Lord says in Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 16.1, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Verse number 4 I've already spoken, but the chapter is titled Demoniac. Yeah, I think it's demoniac nature, something like. But 16th chapter you can see. But really, Lordship in the first three verses, he describes the quality of people who are in the goodness, like demigods, Dev, and the Dana. So in the first three verses, he is describing so many qualities. So literally, Prabhuji Mati, the point that I'm trying to make here is this fight is a constant fight between good and bad. As such, if there are people around, you look at their physical outlook, whether they are animal, whether they are demons, whether they are born in the lowest of classes. Yes, all of that is there. Born in the dog eater family, etc. Their Lordship already says that Name Priya Chaturvedi. In Hari Bhakti Vilas, Lordship is saying Name Priya Chaturvedi. Yeah? Mad Bhakta Swapacha Priya. So he is very clearly saying, if somebody is Chaturvedi, who is the knower of all the Vedas, yeah, but at the same time, Lordship says they are not so dear to me. But if somebody is my devotee, yeah, Mad Bhakta Swapacha Priya, they are dear to me. So that is something to think about. Yeah? So it is not the body, it is not the kul, not the family that one is born in. It is the devotional attitude. It is these qualities. So Lordship is saying, Abhyam Sattva Samshuddhe, Jnana Yoga Vyavasthiti, Danam Damascha Yagnascha, Swadhyaya Tapa, Swadhyaya Stapa Arjuna, Ahimsa Satyam, Akrodhas, Ahimsa Satyam Akrodhas, Tyaga, Apayashanam. And then he says, Daya Sarva Bhuteshwar Alolutvam Hri Achapalam. And then he says, Teja Shama Dhriti Shaucham. Teja Shama Dhriti Shaucham Adroho Na Ati Manita. And then Abhijatasya Devam. Yeah. Yeah. Abhijatasya Devam Sampadam Bharata. So all of these qualities Prabhuji Mataji, Lord Krishna is describing, mentioning that these are the qualities of the people who are devotees or who are surrendered to the Supreme Lord. Whereas the people of the demonic nature, then in the next verse Lord Krishna says, Dambho Darpo Abhimanascha Krodha Parushyam Evacha Ajnanascha Abhijatasya. And then Ajnanascha Abhijatasya Sampadam Asuri. Yeah? Partha Sampadam Asuri. Oh Parth, these are the qualities of the demon. So the point is, Prabhuji Mataji, this fight is literally between these two type of personalities or people who are possessed. I use the word possessed, as in those qualities have possessed those people. So it is the fight between those two people. As far as Supreme Lord is concerned, even though the chapter is titled Fight Between Supreme Lord and Hiranyaksha, the Lordship, he doesn't need to fight with anyone. Yeah. Let's be very clear. He is coming here to help us. He is coming here to set up the example. He doesn't need to fight with anyone. The Lord Krishna very clearly says in Bhagavad Gita, yeah, that everyone is dear to me. Yeah. Name priya, name priyo dveshasto, na dveshosti ne. Name priya, na dveshosti. Ye tu bhajanti mam bhaktya mai te teshu chati. So I'm not dear to anyone, and so their Lordship, he doesn't differentiate. But yes, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, in his commentary on this verse, he does make a comment that it is like if we are servant of Krishna. So he does respond, and then by doing that, he is adhering to his own statement that ye yatha mam prapadyante tam tathav bhajamya. So he is just reciprocating in that mood. However you serve him, we are serving him in that mood. Hiranyaksha wanted to fight, so he presented himself to fight him. As such, he doesn't differentiate. So even though we're saying, but essentially the message or the point that I'm trying to make, Prabhuji Mataji, is about that the fight is between, generally the fight is between two personalities or between ourselves. Between as an individual, we are possessed by all of these type of qualities. So that constant fight is going on. So that is the essence of this pastime. But now we see, if we surrender to Supreme Lord, then Supreme Lord comes and helps us. Okay? So that's that. So now going back to the pastime, now the Supreme Lord turned towards Hiranyaksha, and as he challenged him, which aroused more anger into Hiranyaksha. And Hiranyaksha now took his mace and he tried to attack Supreme Lord. And as he attacked Supreme Lord with his mace, he tried to hit the chest of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. As he tried to attack on his chest, Supreme Lord was able to maneuver, and then he could save himself. So when he is fighting, he is fighting. Yeah, he is a fighter. Even though he can just finish Hiranyaksha like that, but when he is fighting, he is fighting. Yeah. So he just walked like and back out. Now as he got back out, now Supreme Lord took his mace and he tried to hit the right brow of Hiranyaksha. As Supreme Lord tried to hit him, Hiranyaksha was also, he said he was a big fighter. Yeah, by the way. Yeah. He fought hard and he used all his strength. As Lord tried to hit him, Hiranyaksha was also able to save himself. Okay? So like this, these two, supremely powerful personalities, they were fighting with each other. They were trying to hit each other with the mace. And in that fighting, they were both able to hit each other. and blood, and there were wounds on each other's body. And the smell of the blood was again arousing more and more anger in them. Yeah. And they were attacking each other. As the fight was going on, Prabhuji Mataji, now Brahmaji comes there. Brahmaji was already there because they they showered the flowers and the flower petals, but now Brahmaji is joined by all the demigods. A lot of rishis, they also came, from the heavenly planets or the planets above the heavenly planets, from Janlok, Taplok, Satyalok. So they all came and they joined Brahmaji, and they were looking at two of them fighting. As they were fighting, now Brahmaji starts praying to the Supreme Lord. Yeah? And Brahmaji tells Supreme Lord that my dear Lord, this demon, he has become so powerful because of my boon. Yeah? And he has become a constant pinprick. Yeah. So he says he has been giving problems to the Brahmanas. He has been giving problems to the cows, and he has also been hurting the innocent devotees who are surrendered to you. And Brahmaji accepts that because of my boon, my dear Lord, he has become so powerful. Yeah. So please, yeah, please, my dear Lord, just kill him. Just kill him. And Brahmaji is now getting a little bit worried. So now I want to share with you, Prabhuji Mati, similar incidents, sort of incidents happened when Lord Ram was fighting with, or that fight was going on with Ram. And there Vibhishan gets worried. And it says that Ravana Rathi Virath Raghuvira Dekh Vibhishan Bhayav Adhira. So Ravana Rathi Virath Raghuvira. Lord Ram or Raghuvir, he was without Rath. He did not have a chariot. Yeah. But Ravan had a chariot. So Ravan was on his chariot, he was wearing all the ornaments, all the protective gears, and as a warrior that they wear, so he was fully protected. But Lord Ram, he didn't even have a pair of slippers. He was barefoot. Yeah. Na pad na trata. Yeah. So on his feet also there was nothing. There was no protection. So Vibhishan got worried. Adhir. Yeah. Dekh Vibhishan bhayav adhira. So when Vibhishan saw that, he became adhir. Yeah. He became concerned for the safety of the Supreme Lord. And Vibhishan then started praying that, my dear Lord, how you'll be able to fight with this demon. He's so protected. And there's a nice conversation there between them. And Lord Ram then tells Vibhishan, yeah. So once again, I'm sharing this, that similar incidents arrives in our lives. Sometimes you see the person on the other side looks so powerful, like Hiranyaksha. In this instance, he was looking so good. Yeah. And he has been around. But Lord Ram then tells Vibhishan that Vibhishan, the real ornaments, the real protection are dharma. And then there is a very nice conversation. So Lord Rama explains to Vibhishan that if somebody is following all the religious principles, yeah, it's like Manu Maharaj saying in Manu Smriti, Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. A protected dharma protects the protector. Yeah? Dharmo Rakshati Rakshita. The one, so Dharmo Rakshati, so there are two entities here basically. A protected religion and someone who is protecting the religion. Yeah? So the protected religion now protects the protector. Dharmo Rakshati Rakshati. It's a very nice conversation there. And Lord Ram tells Vibhishan, and then Vibhishan got satisfied. So similarly here, Brahmaji gets worried. And Brahmaji is getting concerned. And Brahmaji is telling the Supreme Lord that, my dear Lord, I had given this person boon, and because of my boon, he has become a demon. And now he is going around and fighting with everyone. Yeah? He is performing these infamous activities. And that's why, and then today's verse, that's what Brahmaji then tells their Lordship मैनं मायाविनं दृप्तं मैनं मायाविनं दृप्तं निरङ्कुशम् असत्तमम् आक्रीड बालवत् देव आक्रीड बालवत् देव यथा आशी विषम उत्थितम्. So Brahmaji is now telling their lordship. See, think of it. Brahmaji is literally telling Ma as in don't do it. He is telling Supreme Lord that my dear Lord, don't do it. Akrida, don't play like Balavat. Oh Dev. So he's saying Balavat Deva. Oh my dear Supreme Lord, Ma, please don't do it. Don't do what? Akrida Balavat. Please don't play with this serpentine like a person, like a Bal Krida. Prabhupada says in the purport that sometimes in the village, the boys, they will pick up a snake from his tail and they will just move him around. They will swing him around, yeah, and then they will just eventually kill him. But here Brahmaji is scared. Brahmaji is so worried. So see how powerful, demonically powerful Hiranyaksha was. The kind of fear that he had created. And Brahmaji is saying to the Lord, my dear Lord, please don't play with him. Because he is Nirankusham. Or he is Driptam. Yeah? Dambho Darpo. That Lord Krishna is saying in 16.4, second quality of the demoniac. Dambho Darpo Abhimanascha. So Brahmaji is saying same word here. Yeah? Ma enam mayavinam. He is also mayavi. He is very strong with the maya, my dear Lord. Draptam, he is so arrogant. Nirankusham, he cannot be ankush, as in no control. Yeah. Asattamam, he is the tamam as in superlative. He is the topmost of downgraded people. Topmost of the downgraded people. Asattamam. Yeah. So like a snake, my dear Lord, please don't play with me. And then Brahmaji says, my dear Lord, you are soul of all the souls. Yeah? And then he says, the time is running. The time is running. It is soon very going to be dark. It is soon going to be evening. Yeah? And you are soul of the souls. Please kill him. Then Brahmaji repeats again in the next verse. He says, my dear Lord, when the darkest time of the evening comes, this demon might play more tricks. You know how when Ravan was fighting with Lord Ram, he disappeared. Yeah? And then similarly Meghnad, when Meghnad was fighting with Lakshman, he would disappear. Yeah? As the evening comes, the Nishachar, these demons, their powers increase. They are able to hide, do different sort of things. So Brahmaji is saying, my dear Lord, please, the evening time is coming. And then this demon will become more powerful. He will play more tricks. And you are the friend of friends. Please kill him. Then in the next verse, he again says, my dear Lord, the Abhijit time, the auspicious time, which started at the noon, is almost about to end. You know how we discussed during the time calculation. Yeah? So where is Muhurat of the day? So that Abhijit Muhurat, so it is Dwadashi, Varaha Dwadashi, yeah, appearance of Lord Vamandev. So at that time, Brahmaji is saying the Abhijit Muhurat that began noon, because evening is approaching, that Muhurat, my dear Lord, is almost but over. Please kill him. And then he again requests in the next verse that, my dear Lord, by his own accord, yeah, by the arrangement of the providence, this demon has himself come in front of you. Please kill him. Yeah. So yeah. So you see, Prabhuji Mati, this is how. Now, what is the lesson for us? Yeah. So essentially, like I said, the fight is between demonic qualities and the good qualities, or demonic qualities are trying to overpower the bad quality, the good qualities. Yeah. So this literally could be our prayer to Lord Varahadev. So that Hiranyaksh is actually in some shape or form is in all of us. Yeah? And how Brahmaji desperately praying to the Supreme Lord to kill that demon. That's how, Prabhuji Mataji, we all should be praying to the Lord Varahadev. We all should be praying that, my dear Lord, please kill that demon. Please kill those demonic thoughts. Yeah, because as they are trying to overpower us. Yeah, and you see so if you look at the situation here, Lordship is himself trying to bring Mother Earth out of the ocean. Even then, a demon is attacking. So similarly, Prabhuji Mataji, when you are performing your own sadhana, when you are glorifying the Supreme Lord, no matter how strong you are, no matter at what stage of sadhana you are, these demonic qualities or these demonic surroundings, they will still try to pull you down. Mother Earth, even though she is in the safe hands, you can say, of Lord Varahadev, still she was frightened. Yeah? There was not even a single amount of, you can say, you can use the word arrogance, or that Supreme Lord has come to rescue me. So what to speak of us? She was being rescued by Lord, even then she was scared. So that if we maintain that attitude and approach, once Srila Prabhupada, when Sri Radha Gokulanand deities were installed in UK, so after the class, one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada that can a devotee also fall down? And then Srila Prabhupada uh, like paused for a few seconds, and then he looked at the deities. And he looked at the deity Sri Radha Gokulanand, and he spoke to that devotee. He said, I pray to Lord every day. I pray to Lord every day that please, I should not fall down. And when that devotee heard those words from Srila Prabhupada, he says, then I realized. Then I realized the potency of Srila Prabhupada, and then he also realized, how strong the Maya could be. How strong these demonic surroundings could be, Prabhuji Mataji, to pull us down. So no matter where you are, even when you are within the hand of Supreme Lord, if Supreme Lord himself is carrying you, we have to be frightened. We have to be scared of these demonic surroundings. That is the only way out. Okay? So we will stop here, and in the next chapter, Maitreji tells Vidurji how Supreme Lord killed Hiranyaksh. Okay? So we'll stop here now. Once again, thank you very much for your association. I would like to thank ISKCON Sydney Temple for giving me this opportunity to speak on Srimad Bhagavatam. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Srila Gurudev. Shri Radha Gopinath Bhagwan ki jai. Hare Krishna.